Saranya Zaweri. I have trained with many masters, but I consider myself very fortunate that very early in my spiritual learning path, I started to receive. I started to receive a lot of information from within, and that is really what Ritu was talking about when she started off, saying that the DNA that we hold in our cells, they hold the information. And so I knew that I was accessing the source of all the information that is out there in the universe, and that is also within the DNA of each and every being. And I started to channel. And I did not in the beginning know exactly how I was to use this information, but over time I started to write and I started to share this with all the beings who came to me, and I found that it developed into a beautiful modality called the Gaiadon heart. The Gaiadon heart is a combination of two words. It's an anagram. It's the combination of Gaia, which is the name of Mother Earth, and Adonai. Gaia is a Sanskrit word and Adonai is a Hebrew word. Now, initially, I received this as Gaiadon, G-A-I-A-D-O-N, the heart of Gaia and Adonai, which means God in Hebrew, together is the Gaiadon heart. So who is the Gaiadon heart? We are the Gaiadon heart. When we integrate the energy of Mother Earth, when we are firmly grounded, as some speakers earlier said, we need to be grounded, we need to be connected to the earth, we need to be considerate and caring and focused on the earth. We need to know that whatever we receive, we have to share with the earth. We have to stop hurting Mother Earth. And so this is a healing not only for ourselves but also for Mother Earth. She helps us. When we live on this planet, we receive so much from her. We are existing on this earth because of the earth, what we get from her. It's time we start to give back. And so this is the moment that we realize that we have to honor Mother Earth. And of course, the divine source energies that come from God's source, it's also united with the energies of Mother Earth in our heart. Now, I consider it really not a coincidence, but really amazing that we have come here to participate in the integrated healing workshop, because the work that we do with the Gaiadon heart is an integrated healing. We work with the energies of the earth and the divine energies. How do we become a divine channel? How do we open up our cells and our chakras to allow the divine energies to flow through us? You know, many of us are Reiki channels and Reiki masters here. When we receive the attunement, it's actually not receiving anything from outside. We open up our chakras, which we never used before or we never consciously tried to activate before, to receive the universal life force energy which is already within us. We are opening up to the circuitry of the energy that flows through our chakras and our cells so that we become conduits. And so as the universal life force energy starts to circulate, we get these healing powers. Now what Gaiadon heart, what happens is, we need to look at ourselves as beings of light. We know that we have a light body and a physical body. Most people who are not awakened spiritually, even us before we went on the spiritual path, were conscious only of the physical body. We only focused on the physical body. We never thought of what that light body is like. Of course, we know there is a soul, we call it the Atma, or we call it the pranic body, or whatever you want to say, prana. It is that which animates the physical body. But if we really look at what is it that created the physical body, the physical body does not create the light body. It's the light body which, when separated from source, condensed or lowered its vibration until it became the physical body. And as Ritu rightly said, the physical body is a combination of so many little holograms or little cells which are identical to that light body which separated from source. So the source is also a big light body. From that many tiny little holograms separated and came to form so many of us. 6 billion souls, maybe more now. So when these souls came as light bodies, holograms, and started to lower their own vibrations to live in the physical plane, to experience the third dimension, which is what God wanted to do, because God or Goddess, the Father or the Mother, has everything. What was the purpose of this human experience? What did we come here to do? We came here to simply validate what we already knew, to experience through the physical dimension what we already had and we lost, or we didn't lose exactly, we forgot. So when we go back and try to understand, has this experience become complete? Have we come here and achieved what we have come here to do? Then the questioning begins. Then the search begins, the seeking begins to understand who we really are and to go back to the source. Even in the physical body, you can go back to the source. So when we look at the physical body, just like the universe is a combination of so many little holograms like this, we have the body, the light body, which is exactly the same, only the vibration is different, is a combination of so many small little cells or holograms. If you take that single cell, as you were talking about, you break it up, go inside, go deeper inside, and you find more and more, and there is no end to it, because the universe is infinity. There is no end. You can never reach a point where you look at a cell and say that that's it, there's nothing more. There's always infinity inside each cell. So there are universes and universes inside each cell of your body, like this, like holograms. So the body is a combination of so many holograms. Why I'm calling it a hologram is, when you look at the petals here on the screen, you can see the DNA pattern, but in a perfected way. Originally, we were perfect. But when the physicality set in and consciousness became denser and denser, and we created the physical body to be so unlike the light body, what happened is the DNA became not so perfect. It's only the appearance or the perception of what you look at. As she said, the observer creates. When you look at something, suppose you look at a cell, and if you're a scientist, you'll say, oh, I can see protein and amino acids and so many things, and I can see electrons and neutrons, and then you still keep going further and further. But in the end, there is just energy. There is just pure consciousness, isn't it? So when the observer changes, when the vision changes, the object that you're looking at also changes. So we have the spiritual people who already have seen the cell, and then they say that this is just energy. And then you have a scientist saying, no, it's matter. And then you have a new breed of scientists called a quantum scientists, who see that it can be whatever you want it to be. It can be energy, it can be matter, and it can interface. It can change from one to the other like mercury. And that is the beauty of that cellular consciousness. And when you look at the DNA, which contains the knowledge, the power, the love, that glue which holds the physical body together, like an electromagnetic force, which is unconditional love, what happens is, the moment you think with a holographic consciousness, everything becomes perfect. A hologram cannot be imperfect. But we put imperfection on it because of the thought forms. We accumulate thought forms from so many lifetimes, and we add emotion, and we add a lot of karmic behavior and cause and effect and everything, and one fine day we come here and we don't understand what we have created. We've forgotten. So the only disability here, whether you have very severe disease or a very chronic disease or you have cancer, it doesn't matter. The only disability here is your thought form. If that thought form is cleared, you are healed. So if your thought forms are cleared, what happens is the DNA will become perfect again. It's that easy, it's that simple. If you start to see yourself as a combination of perfect little spheres or holograms. This is the holographic healing. Now why I said that integrated healing is a part of how we do the healing is because if you have a disease or a malfunction or a pain, you go to a doctor and you take medicines. When we do the Gaiadon heart, I always tell the people who come to me for a healing, don't stop that. You have to continue to take the physical treatment because it has already come into the physical. If, as a spiritual healer, if I say, oh, I work with holograms and I see you as perfect, then I'm doing the higher dimensional energy. I'm healing, therapy. And then I'm ignoring the fact that the third dimensional vibration or even the medical treatment is also important. If I'm ignoring that, then the healing will not be complete because it has already come into the physical. So in the Gaiadon heart, we do a very beautiful healing. First of all, what we do is we introduce, just as an example, I'm showing you the Om, and we call it the Om Kaaba of love. Om Kaaba means the light body is given a name, Merkaba. I don't know if you have heard about this. It's a very ancient term which means the spinning body of light. But I introduced the frequency of Om into it so that the universal sound of creation is infused into the light body. And once it's infused into the light body, the vibrations become stronger and stronger and stronger, and it starts to do the healing at a very high vibration. This process is very simple, but it also needs a lot of encodings and a lot of initiations and a lot of energy, frequency updates that are given that are called activations. So these activations help to make the light body stronger. You know what is the effect of activating the light body with these encodements? It takes like, there are 8 levels and each level takes 4 or 5 days. What is the effect on the physical body? When you activate the light body, the physical body cells will have to automatically react and become the same because they are originally the same. The cells have not forgotten. The physical mind has forgotten. The cells remember this blueprint of creation and they start to immediately resonate with that vibration. So where is the time taken to do the healing? You don't look at the density or the pain or the suffering and say, I'm going to heal your kidneys. Oh my God, your kidneys, oh my God. And then you try to make the kidneys perfect again. No, that's not what you do. You see the hologram of the kidneys as already perfect. And you see the petals and you thought intent and you give it all the activations that you give to your light body. So what happens to that hologram of the kidney? It automatically becomes the same as the light body. So the DNA petals start to emit that same perfection. And in no time at all, the healing takes place. This I have experienced so many times. So many miracles have happened where entire tumors in the brain have disappeared and the patient has no, the client doesn't even need the surgery. And there are many, many cases like that. I don't have the time to speak of all the examples that I could share with you. But what I'm trying to say is the perfection exists within the imperfection. And what we do with holographic healing is to bring out that. Now, integrated healing is done in this way. Can I have somebody just come up here and I'll just show you. Yeah. What I'll do is, see he's standing here and I'm going to do a healing for him. Please face them. And what I'll do is I see his light body and mine and I activate his light body. And with the activation that has some commands and thought intentions and different frequencies. Higher and higher frequencies each time we activate the light body. Then what I do is I make a replica of his body's hologram at the back and at the front. and I heal with the 2 vibrations, not just one. So I ask this body hologram to send, this is a 3D vibration. Like you go to a hospital, you go to a doctor, you take the medicines. You are giving him the healing from the physical aspect. Then this body hologram represents the invisible world or the 5th dimensional or the higher dimensional. It doesn't have to be 5th or 7th or 8th, the highest dimensional vibration, the divine energy. You ask for that hologram to manifest in the back, and we bring the hologram of whichever part of the body he wants to heal. What part of your body would you like to heal? Just an example. Your stomach. So his stomach hologram, one is taken from this. So when you take out one, do you think there will be a gap there or a hole there? It's not going to become empty. It will replace it immediately. It's sending you only a replica because the hologram is infinite. So one for the stomach representing the physical vibrations, and one from the back representing the higher dimensional vibrations, and they will merge around the body part. You can do so many body part healing as you want. I mean, as many as you want. You don't have to do just one. So if he has 7 problems, you can do 7, 14, coming and merging in his body, and the healing is done with 2 frequencies at the same time. So how can the healing not take place? Integrated healing. Integrating 2 frequencies. That means you're not leaving out anything. Understand? So this is how the healing is done with the Gaiadon heart healing. And also we are connected, yes, and I just demonstrated this, and so I bring these 2 holograms and I spin them at the frequencies which are of the Gaiadon heart. That is the highest frequency of Mother Earth, the unconditional love from the earth, and the highest frequencies of God. So both together coming, and the hologram starts to spin and accelerate faster and faster and faster until the healing is complete. Once the thought intention is placed, once these holograms are in place, even after he goes away from here, the healing will continue because the holograms have started to work. And this may seem like you're doing something that you have not thought about before, you've not used before, it's something very new. Holograms, what are holograms? They are not outside your consciousness, they are your consciousness. As we work with the holograms, we'll start to really understand, oh yes, I remember. Because everything in this universe is created from holograms. If you break down the structure of every single matter here, it's a little sphere with its own genetic pattern, and that is this. And at the end of every healing or meditation or activation, we also give to Mother Earth what we have received. So it's a complete earth healing. Because as somebody was saying today, he's a farmer, and he said, what about the land, the soil? We don't care about the soil. We don't do any healing for the soil or the food that we eat. This is it. You can see the Gaiadon heart is a combination of the heart of Mother Earth and the heart of Adonai or God. And when we heal the earth, we share with her what we have received, and in turn she gives us back so much more. So that is the healing of the Gaiadon heart. And receiving these encodings lifts us up higher and higher and higher into a frequency that we can share with the whole world. And we can see the change. We can see that people are waking up, people are, changing. There is a transformation. Sometimes it takes a little while for many people who are not ready to come into this, but still, it takes only 144,000 people out of 6 billion souls to be awakened for the shift in consciousness to take place. Thank you. So I'll finish in a few more words. I'm very happy and I'm grateful that Dr. Usha Soni, yes? Yeah. But you know what? It's your light body. It's your light body. You can do it yourself. That's the best way, isn't it? Yes, I can do it, but actually that's another very important thing that I always share with the people who come to me. You are not a healer. You are nobody. You don't have any special powers. I don't have any special powers. I cannot heal a person who cannot help themselves. With the holographic healing, what we are doing is triggering the healing in the person who is asking for the healing. So we are just facilitators. And if the healer thinks that they are able to heal somebody without their cooperation or without their participation, then that is ego. So the words we use when we do the healing in the Gaiadon heart is the first sentences. We ask the client to repeat these words after us. I take full responsibility for my healing. And then we start clearing the thought forms and using the holograms and using these higher two-dimensional energies to do the healing. And there are so many other things, so many levels, so many initiations, so many experiences which take us to such a level that we realize finally the last one that I presented is called, that I present is called the Divine Incarnate. Being the Divine Incarnate means you experience merging with the Divine and you are still in your body. It doesn't make you any different, or it doesn't make you God, but you are the Divine Incarnate in a human form. The whole world changes after that. Namaste. Thank you
so much.